inshallah I'll make some more tracks, and I'm recording into my line in, and I don't know if it's going to be good quality because I had to put an extension to the lead, to my audio lead, to reach this very short lead. Oh come on, no, sorry, here we go. We're going to use Dopplerpad because it's got loads and loads of samples you can use. So let's try something that I haven't used before, marimba. Change the octave slightly, effects. Let's not put slow delay, let's put hissy fit. Oh man. Okay, hissy fit sounds good. We'll start with that. I just need to find samples, you know, workable samples, so let's just record that. There we go. I'll just cut the samples, export that. Export. Call it, what was it called? Marimba. I just called Ma 1. And it's exported that. Undo record. Start a new effect. So, do you want to do a jamming session, or do you want to just record? Let's just record some more sounds. Trump. Let's lower the octave this time. What effect should we put on it? Should we put delay beat? Okay, that sounds cool. Let's do that. File. True. 1, 2, 1. I've only got 20% battery left on my phone, which is recording this. I should try and save these E-piano. Okay. Octave up or down? Down. Effect, slow delay, science fiction, distort yourself. Okay, there we go. It shows the E-piano. There we go. Let's record this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh. That's that done. That was a piano, piano. What was the volume we're on here? 38. Let's turn it up a bit to 32. Drums. Let's see how that plays. It's got a slow delay on there. Okay, let's carry on. We can put our arpeggiator on this as well, so we can put an arpeggiator and do some. Okay. We don't put an arpeggiator on it. So the drums beat goes on. Drum beat. Press the home button for some reason. So there's a bit of a drum and bass that, a bit drum and bassy on it. So drums on. And start monitoring. So what we can do is that sounds good. So let's start record button. this called? This is called lead 1. Anyway, that's Dopplerpad done, I think. What else have we got? We've got Beatwave, which is like a drum tracker. Where are all this? Tone patterns. 1, 2, 3, 4 patterns. 3 patterns. Added minus patterns. Okay. Of that. Okay, how much? We've done 15 minutes, haven't we? You know, last time, you know, when I did that 35-minute track, I didn't include cutting the samples. You know what I mean? Wave. Well, you know, it's alright. So what should we use for drums? We use an IO8. IO8, can you turn around please so you're facing me? It's an iPhone app. So let's see, options, tempo, how do you change tempo? 120, bass drum, instruments. Okay, how do you close this? Return, close that. Volume, that's alright. I'll put the volume down, put there, put the volume up, put it there, put it there, put it there, put it there, put it there. With Congo, Okay, let's build it up from that. We've got one pattern. I should know all the shortcut keys, you know. I'm bothered, I just use a mouse. Undo record, right. So we're going to build it up from scratch. Let's see how it goes. Hi. Okay. Play. This is alright. It was a bit low at the beginning. I had to increase the gain slightly at the end, which I didn't know I could do, or else the volume would have been a lot louder. But it'll be alright. It'll be quite different sometimes. 808, 1, I. It's alright. It's a bit dancey, you know what I mean? It's something you can dance to. I don't like JR Hexatone. It was a bit overrated, I thought. It was a bit overhyped. And what else have I got? I got Bebo Techno Box. Let's try Nano Studio. It's got a version 1.34 now. I know I don't really use it that much. I used it for one album, and let's play this and see what it plays like. And do a recording, play. File export. That's the first Nano since I used in ages. Synth 1. How much time have I done? 2 minutes, 24 minutes. That's that done. Okay, how many samples have I got? Close that. Close that. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 samples again. Close that. I've deleted all my samples. I don't know if I'll have enough room now. I've got some stuff on this thing. Deleted some samples, new project. Empty drum machine. File transfer, open files on your computer. Computer over there, recording everything. No connection, please join Wi-Fi network. Okay, Wi-Fi network, let's join the Wi-Fi network. Settings, Wi-Fi, not connected. Should we connect to home or should we connect to my brother's Wahid's? Let me see what we're connected to. We're connected to Wahid on there. Let's connect to Wahid on here too, or else it won't pick it up. And then let's go to file transfer. Okay, so it's all good now. 192. Should we do the same thing as we did yesterday? There's a slight problem with the one I did yesterday. It was called White Man's World or Muslim World, and there was a slight problem with it. It was just well, I don't know what this is called. Just call it B. And we open the directory B. Here we go. Open that and throw in all our samples. Synth 2, IO8, Beatwave, LE. I forgot what that was. EPR, don't know what that is either. Drums, don't know what that is. And that one too. So how many samples have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 samples. My computer's working at a megabyte per second at the moment. That upload or download, I don't know which one it's doing, that how fast that is. I think the download's about 11 megabytes per second now, but the upload is about a megabyte per second, which is pretty fast. I used to be, back in a few years ago, it used to be like 300 kilobytes per second. So now it's about 3 times faster. You know. So once we've uploaded it, all we need to do then is open a drum track machine, and basically just mess around with how you want to play it, how it's all going to play it. I might put an auto pan on this one or something. I don't know about lyrics, so let's look for some lyrics. Say while that's loading. While that's uploading all the tracks onto Beatmaker, let's go to Facebook and recent writings. I've got one called Cigarettes and Coconuts, so which is funny because, you know, like, I was thinking about that, you know, like, when I was at school, someone called me a coconut, and he didn't say it blatantly that you're a coconut, but I understood what you meant by what he was trying to say, and I called him a cigarette, a fag. I said, you hemp paper on the outside, and you're full of poison in the inside, and that's why they used to drink rum there. And rum is sort of like rum is some sort of alcoholic drink made of coconuts, I think. Coconut fruit, but coconuts are like, everything's good, and cigarettes, everything's bad, you know. Cigarettes are for haters. No, they're not. I don't know. I'm just saying that because there's a song called Cigarettes and Alcohol, and I thought cigarettes and rum. So cigarettes and coconuts. I got something in here I can work with that title. I've got that one. Arrogance. I've got grey skies, but I'm just thinking about maybe I'll leave that one alone. It's a good poem. Should we do grey skies? No, dense clouds. Today I woke to find the sky filled with dense clouds. Were these pile clouds of smoke? I asked. But then I thought, how severe will God's retribution be? Only for it to go without a word, and anything for me to believe. When will the prophecy of the smoke occur? Winter solstice at the end of the Mayan calendar. Something tells me it will be late upon that day, for it will be a specific time no one can delay. God is doer of whatever he wills. Those who deny his marvels are full of vanity and boast. But when comes the retribution which will lead to the fourth world, then will I see the natural defeat the impeccable. Peace of summer. Should we sing that? Yeah, that's okay. How much has it done? It's transferred everything, so let's close that. I'll record it all in one go, yeah, because I'll usually just do first attempts with what I do and everything, because I like the clarity of the first attempt. I think the first attempt is more clearer than other attempts, you know, because if you keep practicing it, you get used to the words, and other people don't know what you're saying because you becomes melodic, and I think it becomes melodic, and anyway, let's record my vocals. I think it does anyway. I think if you keep having that, it's harder to understand what you're saying. Today I woke to find the sky filled with dense clouds. Were these the pile clouds of smoke, I asked. But then I thought, how severe will God's retribution be? Only for it to go without a word, or anything for me to believe. When will the prophecy of the smoke occur? Winter solstice at the end of the Mayan calendar. Something tells me it will be late upon that day, for it will be a specific time no one can delay. God is doer of whatever he wills. Those who deny his marvels are full of vanity and boast. But when comes the retribution which will lead to the fourth world? When will I see the natural defeat the impeccable? Peace is somehow. What was this called? This was called Prophecy of Smoke. turn. So we got that. Should we open? Well, we've got the vocals now, and we don't need to. Basically, we don't need to have that clicked in anymore. The computer. That's pretty set. Let me see if it did record my vocals. Today I woke to find the sky filled with dense clouds. Well, these are pine clouds of smoke, I asked. But then I thought, how severe will God's retribution be? Only for it to go without a word or anything for me to believe. Anyway, that's the vocals, yeah? So we go back to let's try quick load on my content, and I want to quick load. No, not like that. I don't want a quick load. I want to load all these samples in. I think it was B808. Here we go, 808. See how fast that was? That was like a split second. How fast it loaded it. There's a bit of manual work you got to do, but it does a lot of the heavy lifting for you. And I think, it's kind of strange how back in the 80s an Amstrad computer we bought from my eldest brother, my dad bought from my eldest brother, and it cost £250. And nowadays you can pick up an iPad for that price. A good iPad 3 is pretty good. This is iPad 3. You can pick that up for now for about $350. Because the iPad 4's out now, so. So anyway, we're going to do a live recording. We've got 34 minutes on this one, so it's in a minute. I can't do it in a minute, but I don't know how I'm going to play it first. Well, should we? I need to fine tune that. Oh. That sounds cool. Kind of strange and chaotic and okay, here we go. So I know how I'm going to start this. So take the metronome off. That's not how I want to start it. Take that out. Go back to the drum kit and should we start with that? Record some.
Today I woke to find the sky filled with dense clouds, but these are pile clouds of smoke, clouds of smoke. Then I thought how severe go to waiting for it to go without waiting for it to go anything, When will the prophecy of winter solstice, something tells me it won't be late, or it will be what is the world, when comes when will I see the natural? When will I see the Today I woke to find the sky, but these are pile clouds of smoke, then I thought how severe for it to go anything for me to believe, When will the prophecy of winter solstice, something tells me it won't be late, or it will be God is doer, God is doer, God is when comes retribution, when will I see the natural, 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 when will I
One, 4, 8. There's some mistakes in that, but it was an alright performance. If you play it from the start now, 42 minutes, let's just play it from the start. 148 it finished on, bars 8. it's pretty good. I thought it was okay. It's it's a bit of a progression style music, and one thing leads to the other, and then building it up from something small into something vast and big, instead of everything coming at the same time and clashing and joining together and fitting correctly, as most professional musicians do. But I can't do that. Yet. I sometimes can. I sometimes get it right. What is the prophecy of smoking it? Sometimes I get it right, and sometimes it just ends up as an experimental piece. There you go. I've exported that, and now I want to I'll put it on the computer and release it on VibeDeck, which allows me to upload all my music on there, and just have it free for a download, tweak for a download or something. You know, I don't use Tweet that much, but I wish something that I should have done. A lot of my Facebook writings are on Twitter too, and they get exported onto Twitter, but I don't have many friends or anything, followers. I only follow one person, but I've stopped following him too now. And it's okay. I don't know. You know what I mean? God is doing whatever he wills. MashaAllah. Anyone who believes in God, leads a righteous life. Believes in the last day. The angels, not the angels, but will receive their recompense from their Lord. They have nothing to fear, nor shall they grieve. So it's okay. Those who are not for you those who are not against you are for you. So those who attract a lot of attention in their work and gain a lot of fan base and things, are usually sharing the spoil and with their golden values and things like that. Whereas people who don't really succeed, like myself, in the worldly life, but this world is nil compared to the afterlife, and that's the real life that you should work towards. And if I'm not getting any attention or anything, God is doing whatever He wills. MashaAllah. I pray for happiness, and fame and popularity is not, riches are not the not everything. Really. I don't think that I'm famous. I know that. Being a messenger of God, you're famous, but being Zulkarnain, inshallah, or Messiah, son of David. But otherwise, it's like Jesus said, those who are against you are for you. So if I'm left alone and no one buys it, I know for myself that it's not the value in terms of commercial value to serve money, it's serve God. It's people acknowledge it, and some people make observations about it, and some people make observations about it, and some people, and it transcends time. Me and the Messiah, son of David's work, and at the time, a history written by the victor. So, MashaAllah, Allahu Akbar. Here we go, and here we go. Now I'm going to upload it onto my computer, and then I'm going to make an MP3 version of it, on the iTunes, and then I'll make an MP3 version and upload it onto the internet, inshallah. I've got a few singles now. I might be making a 13th album or something, I don't know. But I'm putting guitar work. It's going back to the roots again, going back to the early stuff that I did, which was without any. But this is a different venture. This is like how I made Roads on the Retro album, and it was just by pressing pads and recording it. At the time, it was a 3G iPhone, and you couldn't record into the iPad. But now you can actually record into the iPad and without having to record straight into the computer. But sometimes it's easy to record into the computer when you're recording samples. You might lose a little bit of quality, but it's still pretty good. And they're working on it, and they worked on it so that it's louder now and not as quiet. It's not as sonic as it used to be. But that's only because it's not been mastered. The mastering, I don't know. Mastering is a whole different game, you know, because it depends who you end up with to master your stuff. Some people, they only take them a day to do it, but they'll sell you it that they'll spend a whole week on it or something, and for £100, £200, and you think, wow. And they send you back a copy of it after a day, and you think, well, all he did was increase the wavelengths to the maximum capacity, and that's all he did. Which Beatmaker can do itself, really. But the only thing is that the waves are not condensed. That condensed, they're a bit erratic. So it's a bit of a beginners. That's what they call beginners. That's what someone said beginners do. But I don't think a drum machine version of how music should appear is any good. But professional musicians back in the days, the waves were condensed and all the stuff was done to them that would make it appeal to the mass market. And there wasn't much choice in music. Nowadays there's a lot of choice in music. You know. Anyway. Allahu Akbar, la ilaha illallah. I'll leave it there. Thank you, goodbye.